right now. Do something, anything on a consistent basis to make your dreams a reality. My friends, each and every day, you got to move forward. And the way you do it here is you practice trades, you follow what we're doing, you listen to the show, you fill out your trade worksheet, your daily market worksheet. Again, you learn by doing. 10 to 15 minutes, that's all we ask. It is a great plan, and the plan works. Work your plan, plan your work. Everything is up for the day except for Bitcoin. Let's jump first into the S&P 500. Another up week. We are still, of course, long the stock market. As we ended the day, again, the S&P was not the trade of the stock indexes that we made. It wasn't as strong as the Qs. That's the NASDAQ 100. But of course, it has gone in the right direction, up a little bit for the day, 0.06%. As you look at the half-day chart, and the 2-day and the half-day are, of course, decently above that weekly trend line. And we are connecting 3 candles there, and it's a beautiful trend line. But look how on Wednesday morning, we're about where we were on Wednesday morning as far as the week goes. In fact, we're a little below where we were on Wednesday morning, where things popped up. So we'll keep an eye on that as we move into the next week. You can see it here on the 2-day candles. Here's the Wednesday, Thursday, first day of the latest 2-day candle. The Friday has not reached the high of the prior. So keep your eye on that just in case things start this next week off. You can see overall for many, many weeks, got to go all the way back to the end of April. Excuse me, still getting over that chest congestion. Got to get all the way to the end of April to get up towards an average volume week. So again, but it's the summertime, so we expect stuff like that. That's where you get that saying, sell in May and go away, live to trade another day, because we're in the summertime trading zone. And the summertime trading zone is typically light volume, which means, of course, think about a small bathtub as opposed to a large pool. How hard is it to splash the water out of a small bathtub? Pretty easy. A large pool, not so much. And again, what's the reason? The volume of water. When there's not a lot of volume in the market, it means that you can have other forces pop the volume up or down easier. Not saying it's easy, but it's easier, which again, in the dog days of summer, can lead to the market going back and forth with no conviction whatsoever. But of course, since we've pumped trillions of dollars into our economy backed by nothing, the market is still going up because it is inflating. That's what inflation is. It's like a big balloon you blow up with fake stuff or with just hot air, and things keep going up, which means at some point, though, you keep blowing up a balloon, and finally what happens? It ruptures, and all the air goes out, and it goes way, way, way down. And at some point, we may have to pay the piper, but not yet. Let's look at where we are on the NASDAQ 100. This was our trade. Of course, we initiated it after we had 2 weeks of it sinking down. Our interim low was actually this week, the week beginning the 15th of April. Had another week of some down movement. Then we had the green spinning top average volume, and things took off from there, up for the day 0.52%. A nice week. And as we look here on this chart too, we can see that it is better than the S&P. It's continued to track up. It did pop up on Wednesday, but it's gone higher since then. So we are long on the NASDAQ 100. What about 20-year bonds? They were up nicely, 0.84%. Now, we had average volume last week. Did not have it this week. It's not a trade we were in because we didn't have anything telling us that we had to have it. We didn't have volume backing up interim low and a turnaround. Didn't have a green spinning top. Didn't have a lot of stuff. Hadn't seen average volume since the 29th of April until we hit right at it, almost at it last week. But again, doesn't mean we're jumping in late. Let's go to gold. Where are we with gold? Gold rebounding some for the day, up 1.30%. Now again, we can see where the low was in gold last week. That was 211.54. This week, the low 212.25 or 26 rather. But again, we have not, hit the low that we saw, or we did not hit the low this week that we saw last week. And of course, with things punching up on Friday, we can see we're up in the morning, not quite as much maybe in the afternoon, but again, just pushing above on the half-day chart, that weekly trend line, and right there, just a little bit below it on the 2-day. So we'll see where gold goes to next week. Lastly, we'll take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin ended the week with a red spinning top. Now, if we go back and look at Bitcoin, what have we seen when we see red? Well, we may have to go and look back. You can see I'm looking for solo red candles. Don't really see them. There's a solo red. That was a doji. There's another doji. Again, just makes me wonder, as the week ended with almost a doji, a red spinning top blowing through the weekly trend line, and you can see where the latest 2-day candle started off below the trend line, heading down just the first day of it. Look at all that volume. You can see all the volume in the morning, not as much in the afternoon. It didn't get as low in the afternoon as it did in the morning. But again, even in the afternoon, up around average volume. So we will keep our eye on things. We don't have any volume to help us here on Bitcoin. Got to go all the way back, to mid-April just to get some average volume. So again, not a lot of commitment either way, but we do have a red candle as the week ends. We'll see where that leads us this next week. Folks, so appreciate you being with us. We do always love to hear from you. CW@chartingwealth.com. I will be releasing, as soon as I start uploading today's video, when I finish the show in just a few seconds, I will be releasing Charting Cryptos, Commodities, and Currencies to everyone. Patreon members, thank you so much for your support. And everyone, appreciate you being with us. Don't forget to subscribe at chartingwealth.com. You'll receive the daily trainings that come in one and only one email, 5 days a week. We never share, we never spam, we never sell our mailing list. God bless.